Hey, what's up, everybody? This is the V Club here, and otherwise known as the Villain Club. All right, and this channel is about anything and everything. All right, and I've been kind of changing up the name and all that stuff, so I'm kind of messing around with my algorithms, and so it's all jacked up. So hopefully, if you find my channel, thank you and subscribe, and we'll get this thing straight and going once again. And with that, this is where it's at here, right? And it's about anything and everything that's going on in life that comes to subject matter, and what comes to mind during the moment I speak about it. All right, so what I wanted to do is talk about the whole P. Diddy thing. And so let me bring you back to, yeah, I don't think it's showing here anymore. Oh, here it is. So this right here says no Diddy, Sean Combs arrested. I did this a week ago, all right, when P. Diddy got arrested. But YouTube age restricted my video, and I can tell you why. It's because, let me see here. I can tell you why. It's because I showed footage of when he was like domestic, domestic violence on his ex Cassie, and that's what happened there. So I pretty much told the story about what was going on with P. Diddy here, all last week about it, leading up to that footage. I mean, I won't play the footage, but this is where I think they dinged me at here. Kind of kept. Oh, so this is where they dinged me at here. Right? Surveillance video shows Sean Diddy Combs physically assaulting former girlfriend. So he's dragging. She's running. She's going to the elevator. She's pushing the button. He comes running after her with his towel on here, and then he grabs her, throws her down the ground, kicks her, and stuff like that. Walks away, comes back. She's in the corner, and he grabs a couple of vases and starts throwing it at her and stuff. I mean, he was just like, there was, it was straight up domestic violence, right? In this hotel hallway, and for some reason it never got out. It was never whatever it was never reported. It was never a thing. And you can see here as a 2016 video, and then I think she left him like in 2019 or something like that. And at the same time, she was allegedly going to speak about some of the things that was going on, and he tried to send her like some hush money type stuff, like, hey, this is kind of like a non-disclosure. Here's some money and all that stuff. But then the biggest thing about it was that I think she just wanted to tell, how much of a bad dude that this guy is. And so that's what happened here. And then, of course, he was been investigated ongoing for months, right? They raided his, house. They took away a bunch of stuff, but yet he wasn't arrested, right? And then there was more and more people stepping up, speaking about things that were, coming up just people were allegedly, saying all these things about him, basically. And so more and more and more and more and more and more and more stuff started coming out about it. Let me see if I get past the footage here. Yeah, so I skipped that part. Alright, so this is ex Cassie here. Alright, and let me see here. So there's no more domestic to it, alright, so I took that out. But let me play this footage here of. So after the domestic, then that's the timeline, and then let me see what happens here. Alright, I'm trying to just skip past that part because they age restricted me on that, so I'm trying to. There we go. Let's play a little roll of the history after the domestic violence here.
Years after they met in 2005, they parted ways in 2019. Combs' attorney said the decision to settle was in no way an admission of wrongdoing. Ventura declined to comment on the video.
Well, typically, when there's a settlement before a word gets out, of course, it's to cover up something that happened, right? Typically.
But her attorney told CNN the gut-wrenching video has only further confirmed the disturbing and predatory behavior of Mr. Combs. Words cannot express the courage and fortitude that Miss Ventura has shown in coming forward to bring this to light. The video hasn't been seen publicly.
Oh, can't play that. let me get to that. All right, so he comes to this part. All right, let's go to this part. At first, before the video came out, he was like trying to downplay it, talking about his character and all this stuff, right? And then it was not what he made himself out to be, right? This was when the video started. This is before the video came out, late last year. You can see December 2023. All right.
Being alleged. 2 days after this video.
Damn it. All right, so 2 days later. All right, let's go to here. There we go. That was actually pretty funny. So when this sort of lawsuit stuff started coming out of nowhere, I think it might be because of statute of limitations. Maybe that's probably the reason why these people started stepping up and started these lawsuits and accusations and all that, because he was pretty good about keeping everything under wraps. And all of a sudden, these things started coming up. And then his ex-girlfriend, because look at this. I mean, this happened in 2016. And then she broke up with him in 2019 and left him. And then all this stuff started happening the end of last year, going into this year. And so, I think it might be a statute of limitations as to why this stuff started popping up. And when this accusation started coming up, especially from his ex, he tried to settle with her with a multi-million-dollar settlement, which was done. And then supposedly it was kind of going to be kept under wraps, and then for whatever reason it was still put out there anyways. So it was almost like she took the money and be like, "Yep, screw you too," and put it out there anyways. And then this was a pity video here, because now there's actual evidence, because a lot of it was just talk and hearsay and denial until that video came out of her and him beating up on her. And then he responded with this,
It's inexcusable.
Cry me a river.
I take full responsibility for my actions in that video.
Cry me a river. Sympathy, pity video, right? But now that they've dug deep into everything here, let me see if I can find the details of that. So with all that, they raided his home, tried to look for stuff when it came to evidence of sex trafficking and sex assault investigation that they've been doing on him. Look at this. I just noticed it now. So Cassie was his ex for a long time. Of course, we all know the highly publicized time when he was dating with J-Lo. He was with Naomi Campbell for a short time, the model. Emma Herning Willis. Don't know. Sorry, don't know her. Cameron Diaz. Look at that. 4 years. Cameron Diaz. That's something that was not really talked about ever. I never recall him dating Cameron Diaz. That's pretty crazy. And then there's Alicia Duvall, and then it says Young Miami. Some partners there, and then it says children. Yes, several children. All right. Wow. Cameron Diaz is sorry. I mean, I didn't even know that they dated. I mean, for 4 years. Look at that. That was really not really out there. I don't even recall seeing that. That's pretty crazy. I guess they found enough to arrest him now. So this video was when they first arrested him. This was just a week ago. All right, that's what happened there. Let me see. So yeah, they arrested him after a grand jury indictment, and they raided his home and all that back in March. And so let's see here. Prosecution is being led by Southern District in New York, who confirmed the news. Damian Williams, the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District. It's surprising that New York is actually pushing the issue because New York is soft. Maybe they just go after high-profile people like Trump and Diddy, but they won't go after, you know, the commoners, the citizens, and all that, and non-citizens, especially non-citizens, right? They just let them do their thing and they don't go after them. After the arrest, Combs' lawyer said the Southern District, New York's decision to pursue what he called an unjust prosecution. All right, so blah blah blah. Let's see, Rodney Jones. So there's another. All right, like I said. So you have accusers Lisa Gardner, Rodney Jones, and April Lampros in their separate sexual assault lawsuits filed against Combs. He was not surprised by the indictment. The long-awaited arrest of Sean Combs is the first step in our clients receiving justice, according to the attorney that represents the victims here, the accusers. And then that's what they're saying. So that's what happened there, right? I don't think there was much more to that at the time when I first reported it, and then they see that the age restricted it, so that's why it wasn't able to air. All right, and so that's what happened there, right? Now, present day, a week later, let me see here. The recent Diddy news. I mean, as the days went by, like more and more and more stuff started coming out about this, mainly about the sex part, because of course he's accused of being a sex trafficker, and he's been known throughout the years to have like these like outrageous parties, and then became like sex parties and stuff like that. And then when you look at the high profile celebrities that were a part of these sex parties and stuff, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty deep and pretty crazy, And for example, let's see here. I mean, you see the people there, right? You can see there's Cuba Gooding, Kanye, Prince. Was it Prince William? Or no, that's Prince Harry. Harry's the younger one, right? And then as the list goes on, you start to see all these other people that were part of it. I mean, I saw pictures of like Leonardo DiCaprio. They show a lot of Justin Bieber, right? I'll tell you that in a minute here. Ashton Kutcher, they befriended each other off a simple conversation of at the time when Ashton Kutcher had that show Punked. They befriended each other from that time, early 2000s. A lot of this stuff was going on early 2000s as time went on. And I don't know if the parties have died down, but early 2000s was like super hot and heavy. And so there's Usher, right? Because he came on a very young upbringing. He spoke about it on the Howard Stern show during the time when he was interviewed on Howard Stern, where he was just a young kid coming up. I think it was like 16, or it could be younger. I think it was like 13, 14, 15, 16, somewhere around there, right? Like teen. Right? And he spoke about how, pretty much like Diddy kind of took him under his wing and all that stuff, like when it came to musically, right? But, when Howard Stern started asking questions about, hey, like, what else did you just see a lot of things, and he touched on it, right? He touched on it, talking about how he saw a lot of things, right? And that, he saw some things that were curious. He labeled it as curious things about what was, stuff that he was seeing, but he would not reveal what that was or what it was specifically. And then throughout the years, stuff that was on Twitter, all that stuff. I guess there was a lot of stuff that would have like pit these two, especially, and suspiciously, right, would kind of target them in terms of what was being said or what was put out there. All of a sudden, Usher claims that his account got hacked, right? But people are not falling for it. People are like, man, your account didn't get hacked. You deleted that shit. So, because it just mysteriously disappeared all of a sudden, right? Just like that, which is pretty funny. But yeah, there's like a lot of stuff about the, the parties, especially. The big thing was the parties. See, P. Diddy's son caught on tape sexually assaulting yachts or whatever. Let's see. What else was there? Oh, supposedly as well. Look at this new lawsuit accuses Diddy Combs of videotaping violent rape. Yeah, I mean he had a lot of alcohol, a lot of baby oil, a lot of different things at these parties, drugging them, and accusations of raping them. I mean, there's a lot of stuff here, right? They actually had a good video here, Valuetainment, yesterday, where they were going into detail about stuff I was just talking about. But yeah, so Diddy scandal explodes. Usher deletes tweets. Ashton Kutcher under fire. Yeah, because Kutcher was he went to these parties and stuff. So these are early 2000 stuff. So 2000 to 2010 decade, right? And also, J Lo has been kind of on the down low when it came to when it came to this stuff, right? She's trying to keep a low profile right now because what happened was, I guess supposedly the talk is that there's actually a sex tape that she is like really dreading that's going to be put out there. So she's trying to like really keep a low profile right now when with all this stuff that's happening, despite her publicly, having this sort of divorce situation with Ben Affleck, right? But yeah, she's dreading about this supposed sex tape between them two that's supposedly out there that may be released, right? So she's dreading that. But yeah, so lots of stuff here. Oh yeah, I'm going back to the whole Usher and Justin Bieber. So Justin Bieber at this time, he's just a kid. I mean, young teen. I mean, Usher came in under him around that age time, right? Same with now you're looking at what 2010-ish, right? Justin Bieber came up, right? He's from Canada. He's trying to break into the music business and cross paths with P. Diddy here, and P. Diddy helped pave the way for him to really be out there. They befriended each other, but then supposedly they used Bieber in a whole different way. I mean, whole different way. And so that's the big talk about what's been going on, when it comes to stuff that, I mean, see how they're just hanging out, right? But supposedly he was using them more than just hanging out like this, right? And we're talking about like crazy sexual abuse stuff, whether it's with Diddy or his people or party goers, whatever. There's a lot of secrets right here, which is pretty crazy. So yeah, there's some crazy stuff going on, and lots of names are thrown in here. I mean, you can look at these pictures here, and look at the amount of celebrities that were a part of this.
These are the Diddy pictures Hollywood doesn't want you to see. Every A-list celebrity from Leonardo DiCaprio to Mariah Carey can be seen partying with the disgraced rapper at his various get-togethers dating back to 1998. Here's a shot from one of Diddy's white parties with Kim Kardashian and Paris Hilton in the background. And here he is with Ashton Kutcher and Demi Moore at another party in 2009. Russell Brand, Chris Brown, Lil' Kim, Nicole Richie and Tommy Lee are just a few of the other big-name guests, while another picture from Diddy's East Hampton house shows two women pouring champagne down another woman's throat in the pool. It comes after Diddy was arrested on racketeering and sex trafficking charges, with authorities claiming he threw massive sex parties that were often recorded. Diddy has pled not guilty and faces a minimum of 15 years behind bars if convicted.
You know what's crazy about that too is all these parties and stuff, white parties, the drugs, the alcohol, the sex, all that stuff. You know what's crazy is that, you know, how they mentioned that they, videotaped everything or recorded it. Imagine, I think what he was trying to do with that was play for the future, right? You know, maybe at some point, sell the tapes of the parties and how cool it was with the parties and the celebrities and all that stuff. Like maybe sell it towards the like the porn networks and stuff, since it's borderline nudity and whoever whatever stuff that may be on footage is probably not something you could just put on TV, but more like put on the porn channels and stuff like that out there on the web, to sell this stuff, the footage, right? That's something I think he could definitely play for, because he's a businessman at the same time. But yeah, so pretty crazy stuff though, and especially with the whole like Justin Bieber thing, and how much, because that's the biggest thing right now being spoken about is the stuff that they just had this weird relationship that Bieber was being used for more than just music. Let's just say that. So pretty crazy. All right, but I just wanted to share that with you guys. Plus, I wanted to share that age restricted video of what I put out last week. So I cut out I guess that little footage of what took place there. But yeah, so you can see all this stuff. See, upset over the P Diddy Combs. I mean, so yeah, everything is coming out now. I mean, he's on suicide watch right now. They put him on suicide watch right away, and they said that's just normal practice, especially high-profile people. That they put him on suicide watch. But stranger things have happened. That's all I can say, right? I mean, like, look what happened with Epstein, right? In prison. I mean, how can you be? I think he was on suicide watch, but still died, which is kind of weird. So it's much more than just oh, they just die on that. No, something else was going on. Could it be the same way with this? Who knows? Would it surprise me? No, it wouldn't surprise me. But looking at this, the people, the footage, all the little things that have been going on, people speaking about it all of a sudden now, when I don't know, nobody was ever speaking about it over the years. But now all of a sudden, it's like it's like everybody's coming out about it now, which is kind of odd. So whatever, right? But I just wanted to just share all that with you guys and let me know what you think about that. I think he's gonna be locked up. I mean, for sure he's gonna be locked up for good. Question is how long. There's no way you can fight this. I think there's just too much against them, and I think it's an open shut, closed case. I think if anything, the argument is going to be negotiating his sentencing. Like, how long is it going to be? How long they could try to talk down the sentencing, and then go from there. But yeah, he's done. Bad Boy Entertainment, unless he has some sort of predecessor to run it, is done. Um, but the curious thing as well is that Usher deletes the tweets, and everybody's not believing that too. So pretty funny stuff. But yeah, so that's the latest on everything. I don't know. Maybe he might have his son run the empire. Who knows? Um, but that's just something to talk about down the road. All right, with that, that's enough from me. Just want to say thanks for tuning in. Hit the hit the subscribe button. Share me a comment. Talk about anything and everything. And about common sense. I mean, everything's about common sense. Common sense says that he's done. All right. And so this is interesting. Oh, Kim Porter's like the ex-wife of his kids, or ex-female for his kids. See, Porter's causes death rumors all of a sudden. Crazy stuff. It says she suddenly died in 2018. All right, enough of me. I'm just gonna, stop right there. Diddy knows it's likely he'll never have freedom. Yeah. He's done. I think the argument is that the negotiations on how much they could try to minimize the sentencing, that's the only thing his defense lawyer can really argue for right now. There's just too much against him. And I think there was just too much put out there. And, no one really spoke about it until, maybe the statute of limitations kind of kick-started that fire, the kindling. And it went from there, it took off. And you know what happens, right? As soon as the fire starts, it gets bigger. And other than that, all right, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and stay tuned for daily content as I always do. Going through some algorithm changes and name changes and all that, but hopefully I can stick with this one. All right, so thanks, and I'll see you next one.